Hello everyone, this is Visual Novel Gamer here, and I am back with Katawa Shoujo. Last time, Emmy ran right into me. We talked a bit with Hanako and Lily, got to know more about them, and we met Ren, we painted some of her mural on the brick wall, and now we're just waking up. So let's continue. The sound of the alarm pulls me out of a fitful slumber and into an unpleasant state of wakefulness. I linger under the blanket for a few minutes, gathering energy to rise up while making excuses as for why I already haven't. Honestly, I wouldn't mind staying here for all day. School is surprisingly exhausting after a long pause, and the culture shock still has not faded, I think. Still, despite getting an impression that skipping class is easy here, I don't think they are going to let me get away that easy. And the nurse is bound to keep breathing down my neck with the talk of exercising as well. So eventually, I do rise up, swallow this morning's medicine, and put on my old soccer clothing. Thanks to my condition, I was exempted from taking part in gym class at Yamako, so I didn't get issued with a gym outfit. I ordered some to cover such a contingency, but wearing my old soccer clothes is kind of nostalgic. Can't use them for any of that anymore, so maybe they can get a new life this way. A bit like me here. After all, if I'm going to start taking care of myself, I can't afford to slack around. I'll start from the basics. Basics which include keeping the rest of my body in shape, along with what little I can do to strengthen my heart. Maybe then I could go back to something approaching a normal life. Or at least something where I'm less likely to fall over dead at any minute. I'm surprised to discover that I'm not the only one present at the track. Not just that, but it's a face I've seen before. The prosthetic leg girl who bowed me over in the hallway yesterday is running on the track. Lithy, like a half-machine gazelle. What was her name again? It was a short one, but I can't remember. She seems to be running laps at a somewhat easy loop, but her prosthetic legs clinking rhythmically on the hard track surface. I wonder what reason she has for running this early in the morning. Maybe it's something came to mind, and the nurse is opposing the poor girl to jog just like he is opposing me. I certainly wouldn't be here if it weren't for my health, and is prompting me to do so. And even with things being like they are, it's only because I wanted to get it out of the way early. The fact that I would be less likely to encounter someone who would witness my pitiful attempts to get in shape was merely a happy accident. I'll leave, but it seems that my former assailant noticed me on her last lap. She waves at me cheerfully and jogs over. Good morning. Your name is Hisao, right? She grins, seemingly pleased that she remembered my name. You may not remember me. Emmy, I knocked you over in the hallway yesterday? How could I forget such a blunt introduction? Emmy has the decency to look very apologetic for a moment before giggling. Yeah, sorry about that again. Well, so as long as you don't make a habit of it, I suppose it'll be fine. Great! I'm not sure she realized I was joking. So the spy council the nurse was talking about, was that actually you? That's right. Oh. I was expecting someone from the nursing staff, to be honest. What are you saying? I don't look like I could be a spy? No, this is more like a relief. I was afraid he would have someone to watch my every move. Unless you are here to do exactly that. No, I'm here for my own reasons. And let's just ask if I have seen a messy hair transfer student who looked like he's kind of lost around the track. So why are you down here? Emmy strikes a dramatic pose. training! For what? Track. Ah, I see. You're on the track team then. Emmy nods enthusiastically. Yep, and I'm one of the better runners too. And modest about it too. Hey, you should join up. It's good exercise, you know. I think that much activity is probably out of the question for me. Nah, I'm not even sure that I really like running all that much. Plus, I'm just not into organized sports, you know? It's true, I never even really got that much into soccer. I mean, I ran around with my friends and all that and all, but that was really the only reason I ever played. It wasn't for the glory to be found on the field, that's for sure. It was the same with me with baseball. I only joined the baseball team because a lot of my friends were on it when I was in high school. But once a lot of them stopped playing or just didn't have the time anymore, I quit baseball because I like hitting, but I was never into really organized sports and competition like that. Emmy seems to understand my meaning. I see. Not that into the whole organized thing. But now that you're here, I guess we're going to run together, huh? What, sure, I guess. Emmy seems pleased. Are you going to warm up? Real men don't warm up. Oh no, you should always warm up. That is so. I imagine her pointing a finger saying, bat! She scolds me enthusiastically, but then smiles and leans closer. I hate warming up too. She laughs suddenly. Heck, I don't even have to stretch my legs. As if to confirm her statement, she bounces up and down a couple times, giving a passing impression of standing on a pair of springs. Her leg blades seem to be quite elastic. Let's go! So we both took off around the track, and I can immediately see that she wasn't lying about being good at running. Emmy moves fluently, throwing herself into the run with a sort of wild abnegation. I find myself concentrating more on running properly. Hands spread, right? And something about hitting on the balls of your feet rather than the heels. I try to match my stride at Emmy's, but it's pretty difficult. There's no way you could match someone that's in the track and field on your first time really doing it. Apparently, I'm not very good at it. Maybe Emmy could help with that somewhat. I'm really not feeling up to more than a couple of laps today, and a slow walk slow to a walk pretty quickly. Emmy keeps running and doesn't seem to notice I stop until she passes me a second time. She quickly skates to a halt, breathing steadily in contrast to my own somewhat grasping demeanor. Finish already? I hang my head ruefully? Yeah. I'm not in very good shape right now. Emmy nods and then grins at me again. She seems to do a lot of smiling. Well, the important thing is you started, right? Next time you just have to try to hold out a little longer and then longer and longer, and eventually you'll be great. I'll keep that in mind. But I think right now I'm going to get ready for class. Shouldn't you? Emmy shrugs unconditionally. Nah, I got plenty of time. I noticed that she's not wearing a watch. Are you sure? Another careless shrug. Not really, but I gotta finish my routine. See you later, Hisao. Yeah, see ya. I'm not sure whether this morning experiment was a success or failure, but I'll admit that I do feel slightly good about getting out there this morning. And like Emmy said, I need to keep at it in order to get better, right? Practice makes perfect, or something like that. It's nice, at least, to feel like I've taken some balance of control over my own health. I have to try to keep this up. I head back to the dorms to wash and change into my uniform, trying to resist the urge to take a real, long, and hot shower. I'm tired from all the running, so I just want to unwind unwind, but I don't want to break my slowly building routine of going to school before the morning rush. After taking a long shower anyway, I dry myself off and get out of the stall to put on my clothes. Out of nowhere, a shadow appears within the mist, looming and radiating menace, intent. It bursts through the fog. Sup? The leaf. That's freaking funny. What are you doing here? What the hell? You scared me. What's your problem? I should be asking you that. I've been looking all over for you. For you all over the place, man. What do you mean all over the place? I want to ask if he's been looking for me like that, stark naked, but hold my tongue back. I finally realize I'm still naked too and quickly hold up my shirt in front of me. But Kenji doesn't seem to notice a thing. His glasses are fogged up, but then why doesn't he wipe them off? Is his vision so bad it's like he's practically seeing through frog? You know, your room. And yeah, that's it. Hey, I mean, I still have to get up, though. Whatever, it's not important. Can I borrow some money? He puts on an innocent face and looks away, trying very hard to look very casual. It doesn't work. He has a transparent as a window pane sized glasses. Talking naturally like this, wearing nothing, feels awkward. Actually, somehow it's even more awkward to be naked in front of someone when they can't see me. Being naked to say nothing of the fact that he's naked as well. I try to brush the feeling off with little success. Money? Sure. Awesome. Wait, why do you need it? Can't you just give it to me because I had the goodwill not to run through your pockets while you were in the showers? I could have, but I exercised restraint. And in the end, isn't it the thought that counts? Come on, be a pal. This makes no sense. If it's the thought that counts, I should withhold payment since his thoughts were so clearly impure. And his intentions are probably even more sinister, since he can't tell me what they are. I said as much to him. I'm offended, man, but if that's your game, then fine. I guess I have no choice. I want to order a pizza, and I already have most of the cost of the pizza. I need your help for the rest. I get some of the pizza too, right? No. Are you serious? Yep. I'll give you some, but you have classes. You have class. You don't have time to eat a pizza. What about you? I'm not going to class. I have to wait for the pizza and pay the guy, and then eat it. It's not easy. It's not easy. You have to attain the pizza stealthily. If you don't, everyone will see you and the pizza, and they will ask for a slice. It's a hard world out there. Everyone wants a piece. Then you're left pizzaless. An unforgiving world. It happened before. That's how I know. Every day I plan my vengeance so that when the people who wronged me order a pizza, I will be there even visually. Kenji strikes a dramatic pose, completely without irony. But yeah, I need like 400 yen. Please, you're my only hope. I can't go outside and buy my own pizza. It's too far. I try not to go out unless it's absolutely necessary. Let me tell you what happened the last time I went out without carefully planning it out in advance. I was outside, can't remember what I was doing. Something. Standing? Maybe. Wondering how I got there. And then, out of nowhere, it happened. Like a flash of lightning, splitting the skies. Like how you split a sandwich into 2 equally pieces to make it more manageable. To hold and eat. A bird cracked on my head. It was the second most shocking moment of my life. What was the first? He ignores me, keeps going. I want to grab him and shake him. Is he just trying to keep momentum? I'll go with that. Even if it's more likely he just didn't hear me. It was like in the opening to some kind of anime show. You know how there's always a part where the main dude is fighting his rival and they fly at each other and clash swords and there's like a big dramatic color of wars and zoom. It was like that, but with poop. Okay. So yeah, I need some money. Please don't leave me hanging, man. I only need like 1,000 yen. I thought it was 400. Okay. What? I'll pay you back, I swear. You better. And that's what it means to borrow stuff. I don't know when I may be able to pay you back. You have 1 week. Kenji winces and makes a noise like a dying cow. A practically determined fact, given that his baton is conducting freely. You're not supposed to be so tight-ass about money between brothers in arms, man. Men have it bad enough as it is. Did you know that male porn stars only make about half what female porn stars make? That doesn't mean anything unless you're a porn star. So maybe I am a porn star on the side, struggling to meet end meets as I fight the feminist agenda. And you can't even spot me, you crumbs, you bastard. Nobody understands. Nobody. Wouldn't feminists be against pornographic in the first place? This feminist agenda stuff again. This stuff is important. I can see that you don't give a shit, but this is serious here. Feminists are dangerous enemies, make no mistake. You will take them lightly and you'll wake up in the morning with a knife in your back. Bam! Out of nowhere. How do you wake up in the morning if someone stabbed you in your sleep? Women are terrible at stabbing things. I thought you just said don't take them lightly. Well, I mean don't take them lightly for the big things. Individually, they're not a threat. But if they were some kind of war, like a big war with men on one side and a feminist force on the other side, it would be pretty ugly. And the day will come when the feminists come out of their center top secret worldwide feminist headquarters and say, "It's on now, motherfuckers." You're being ridiculous. There's no big worldwide feminist headquarters building. Where would they even hide that? I mean, it's have to be massive. You couldn't hide that on Earth. Someone would notice a big fortress with women only in it. Who said it was on Earth? I turn away from Kenji and start practicing frowning faces in a mirror so that I could figure out what kind of frown would best express my emotions. He can't see me from this distance anyway, which unfortunately means that he just keeps on ranting without any regard or to sense or sensibility. Yeah, there's a war going on, a war that not many know about, but it's a great one that will one day boil over and encompass all of the known world. Then we will have to pick sides. We will have to make a stand. In fact, it's happening right now. Imagine it, the bloody battlefield, a vicious conflict without end. I almost gave up when I thought this case was silly, when I grew tired of the bleakness of our fight, when I mistook the time that power went out for a feminist raid, and the thought the end was near. But then I realized that if I give up, it would all be over. And I was like, whoa! And knew I had to get serious, because I am the last sane man in the insane world. It's about duty. Must be a pretty cappy movement if all it hinges on one naked guy ranting in the bathroom at another naked guy. So can I have the money? He's blocking the way out. It's getting cold because I'm still naked and I want to go to class, so I agreed to spot him the money. Awesome. Thanks, dude. We should go bowling later on. Bowling? Yeah, it's the ultimate sport. There are almost no women bowlers here, making it also the manliest sport. Should I wear my pink bowling shirt, which with matching toes, or the plastic green with flower accents? There are bowling clothes? Maybe. Anyway, you had better pay me back. I can pay you back in stuff, right? I don't have the time to ask him to elaborate on what that means. I don't know. I have to get to class. You're kind of in the way. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I don't want to hold you up, and I have some stuff to do myself. The time has come. Time for what? I just like saying that. Okay, now the time really has come. For what? I have to use the bathroom. Get out of here. I was just going to. What does that mean? It's a big bathroom. So, I have to be alone or I can't go. Pressure. Okay, what if someone else comes in? I'll think about it. I give him my practice frown and it looks kind of silly, reflected in his glasses. He doesn't seem to notice or doesn't see. Anyway, so I get dressed and run back to my room, feeling as though an eternity has passed since I woke up. That was weird. That is the time I will never get back. I'll get him for this somehow. But right now, I have to get to class. I'm the first person in class today, although I'm a little too early. Then again, sitting alone for 20 minutes sure beats having to suffer that time with Kenji. The combination of fatigue, frustration, and boredom starts making me feel very tired. I black out for a second, waking up when my head hits the surface of my desk. rim in my forehead, I realize this is as good a reason as any to stay up for now and stop coming to class so early later. Eventually, I heard a tapping noise outside of the hallway, and Lily's tall figure appeared in the doorway. She's not in this class, so she must have some other business. Maybe she's looking for Hanukkah. Lily stops at the door, looking hesitantly as if she was a vampire who can't come in unless invited. I consider doing so because she looks rather lonesome standing there. She steps in on her own accord, though, after straightening her skirt and shirt collar, as if it was of importance to look prim when entering our classroom. "Excuse me," she calls out into the quiet classroom with a probing, delicate voice. I realize the silence may unnerve her because of her blindness, so I break it. "Good morning, Lily." "Miss Howe, good morning. I didn't hear you come in." I wonder if she thinks it's suspicious I didn't say anything to her before. It's likely if I were to tell too big of a lie, it would sink me. Well, I was already here, just asleep until now. "Oh, have you seen Hanukkah today by any chance?" "Nope, she seems to only come in just before the bell rings. Or after that. Do you want me to tell her something for you?" "No, it's fine. It's strange. But I think we're the only two people in the school right now. I didn't hear anyone else on my way here. I shouldn't have gotten up so early today, I guess." "You're chastening yourself for doing something that other people should? Punctuality is a good thing. I think so, anyway. It's a very busy morning today. The festival is coming up soon, and today is the deadline for event registration, budget reports, and any other official paperwork. It could be that everyone is trying to complete the necessity forms at the last minute. Maybe that is why it's so quiet today." Hi. Misha pops into the room with Shizune as if on cue, shouting with the loudness that makes Lily visibly flinch. "Hi, Chan." "Hi. ... Look, it's the class representative. Hello." Lily's smile was probably amused by Misha or Susune's use of the word look. "Good morning. ... Of course, you're not the representative of this class, right? "I'm not." Lily seems to be more guarded in her answers to Susune than she was with me the other day. I guess they really don't get along at all. Then I realized that Lily might actually not know Susune is present, and she's trying to detect whether or not she is. To know who she is talking to. For all she knows, she's talking to Misha. But knowing that she and Susune are practically inseparable, she might expect Susune being the one that actually talks. Damn, how complicated. I decided to help out for my own peace of mind more than anything else. "You're here early, Susune. ... You were here earlier than us." Misha puffs out her chest angrily. Why is she getting angry? Does she feel emotions on Susune's behalf too? It's not that weird, though, that Susune didn't like my comment. It's true I was here earlier than them, so me saying something like that could definitely be misinterpreted as anything. Especially to Susune, who doesn't have the benefit of hearing tone to gauge intent. Before I can start weighing whether or not I should apologize, Susune has already moved on. ... Class rep, it's a good thing you're here. We have to talk. ... The festival's coming up in 3 days, right? Every other class has already handed in their project budget reports for their events. Even the first years. Except you. Wahahaha! There is still time to hand it in, isn't there? ... Today! The deadline is today. You're certainly taking your time, aren't you? If I had it my way, I'll have had all of the necessity paperwork days ago. But someone had to say the deadline. Please extend it. Yes, that was me. Planning something on this scale was no small task, and a week is too small a time frame to expect a whole class to work out such a complex issue completely. Dot dot dot. Do you want to know what's harder than distributing the funds for one class event? Handling the same matter for every class in the school, and then some. The one who does that is me. Misha puts her hands on her lips and stands up straight. Wow, she's getting into the role. Lily doesn't look like she's very amused, though. Hey, Shisune, aren't you being a little too hard on her? There's still a whole day left. Please, Hisao, it's alright. Lily seems happy I'm taking her side, but a bit conflicted that I might not think she can take care of herself. If this is about the budget, then I'm disappointed you think I have forgotten about it. I understand how important it is. Then can I have it, please? Sasune, she might not have it on her at this exact moment. It's not here right now. I asked 2 students to take care of it for me. Students from my class. She emphasized the last sentence, much to my surprise. She knows about Sasune and Misha's efforts to rope me into the student council. I guess word must have got around, so now she's using me as ammo against Sasune. This just gets better and better. I'm enjoying it. ... It was your responsibility. A budget report isn't something you should just be delegating away. As class representative, it's your job to be on top of things. This kind of disrespect for proper procedures is really just terrible. They completed it, being capable of doing so, but the students have been sick recently, so they could not come to school and give it back to me. If you want, I will apologize on their behalf for getting sick. Okay. Although Misha misses Lily's little jab entirely, Shisune doesn't, and she seems torn between being offended by Lily's daring and jumping for joy at the prospect of a challenge. ... Lily, don't they live here at the school? That's a 5-minute walk, you know. What could they possibly have that prevents them from taking 5 minutes out of their busy lives to drop off something that will affect the enjoyment of their entire class? Lily opens her mouth to say something, but Shisune closes the gap between them and starts signing furiously, waving her hands around like an orchestra conductor. Misa tries her best to convey the same passion, but she seems to lose her normal cheerful tone. The result is interesting and somewhat surreal. ... And what's with that attitude? I said it's not something you should be delegating away. Are you the class representative, or aren't you? Tell me the names of those 2 students. They should have your job if you can't even handle something this simple yourself. One form isn't the full extent of what I'm supposed to take care of. Lily's tone is grown slightly impatient, but she is doing a good job of not letting Shisune see how unsettled she is becoming. She's playing her cards close to her chest. Shisune, on the other hand, wraps her fingers cheerfully along the edge of her glasses, knowing Lily can't neither hear nor see how excited she is. ... Of course you do so much, class rep. It must be so difficult being you. Lily tightens her lips at Misha's words, clearly understanding the intent behind them, even though Misha delivers them without even a hint of sarcasm, which they were meant to have. Sasune and Lily don't like each other. That much is clear. But this seems a little much. It seems like Lily has had enough and is ready to push back. I was actually just discussing the budget report before you came by. You must be very talented to have finished all your student council duties so quickly that you could track me down to make sure I don't forget my own. Are you accusing me of slacking off? It seems like you're confusing me with yourself. I don't think so. That would be a very difficult thing for me to do, comparing myself to you. You're right, the difference between us is like heaven and hell, and it's not hard to guess which one you might represent. This is great. I'm loving this. Pure battle. The air between them ripples with the heat of their enemy? Well, not really. They can't disguise it anymore, even Misha looks like she's beginning to understand the real nature of this conversation. ... Hee-chan, don't you slack off either. What are you talking about? That's that. Aren't you taking part in the festival, Hee-chan? You are, aren't you? Then I hope you're going to do a lot more to make sure it goes smoothly than this person. I don't understand why Shizune is suddenly getting mad at me. Yep. Saving here. And let's see. Hey, come on, don't drag me and Lily. Hey, come on, cut me and Lily some slack. Don't drag me into this. I've done my part, and I'm gonna do the top one. Gotta protect Lily. These two are monsters. Hey, I'm the new guy, remember? It's not like I could have done much even if I wanted to. That's right, you shouldn't expect a transfer student to jump right into it on his first week. Lily, taking my side, feels oddly comforting, so I decided to back her up too. Yeah, you're being unreasonable with both of us. ... Excuses. Miss Class Rep has had plenty of time to deal with her report, and repeatedly offer you a position to help with the student council work. But you refuse to commit yourself to making the festival a success. Yeah, but as I said back then, I'm not sure if... I don't have time for this right now. No matter what I do, it will mean being drawn into a confrontation with Sasune, and that is what she wants. Whatever, forget it. I turn my back at them. Lily, class is going to start soon, so we can talk more later. I'll tell Hanako you were looking for her. I can feel Sasune freezing. Maybe this is the first time she has ever been ignored in such a blunt manner. Thank you, Hisao. I'll leave now then. She gives me the sweetest smile I've seen all week, and turns on her heels to make her exit. As soon as Lily walks out the door, I suddenly start feeling reluctant about turning to face Sasune. I can feel her eyes burning into my back and can't bring myself to look at her. She must be furious. I keep expecting Misha to say something to avert the tension, but it really is wanting too much. In the end, I go back to my seat and listen to the sound of Shisune's footsteps as she marches out of the room. She doesn't return until a few minutes before class. Hanako doesn't come to the morning class at all, leaving her seat looking empty and lonely in the back of the classroom. I have to tell her that Lily was looking for her if I see her later. After the events of this morning class, it's pretty boring in comparison. I turn the pages of my textbook lazily. I have a bit of catching up to do, despite trying to keep up with my studies at the hospital, but I'm not feeling that enthusiastic about it. The clock on the front of the room sounds unbearably loud. The teacher hasn't said anything in over 7 minutes instead of opting to cover the board in rows and rows of equations taken directly from the book. The rhythmic clashing of chalk on the blackboard seems to systematically perfect with the ticking of the clock. I start to copy down the equations just to pass the time, even though they were right there in the textbook. When the bell rings, I'm not in a hurry because I have nothing to do, so I stay for a while reviewing what we covered in class today. I prefer to leave last anyway, so I don't have time to deal with crowding in the halls. I notice Sasune and Misha has also stayed behind, talking to someone from another class. Sasune is signing so fast that her hands make noise like swords cutting through the air. Maybe there is pent-up anger in there. Misha is trying desperately to keep up, but it's clear she can barely manage to even understand her. I put my head down. Whatever they're discussing, it looks like serious business. Sasune signs to the point where her wrists crack, and Misha struggles to spit it out in word form. Sometimes she trips over herself like she's dealing with tongue twisters, and then on top of that she has to sign back anything the other girl says. Seems like a rough job. Misha looks tired. She looks tired, like she's about to faint. Lucky for her, their business is soon finished and the girls sit down at their seats again. I'm so tired. She's hanging her head limply on the desk, looking exhausted. I use the opportunity to toying with me Susune a bit, while getting roped into the student council thing again. Though I suspect that door is now closed for me. Festival preparations must be tough for you. Indeed, the people in the school seem to be taking the festival very seriously. Whenever I see people idling around before and after class, they're always talking about their plans for it. It's kind of neat to see everyone being so enthusiastic about it. I'm probably the only one who doesn't have something to do. Shusune scoffs at me at first, as if trying to decide whether to ignore or sneer at me. But in the end, she starts signing without doing either. Misha perks up, looking at her hands with slightly unfocused eyes. She signs with her harsh, heavy, dramatic strokes. Misha translates her signing into speech for me. She does it so well that it's almost like Shusune is actually speaking, transmitting her thoughts directly through Misha. She must have practiced it viciously. Well, of course, we're in the student council, you know, so we're pretty busy. It's an important duty of ours to ensure the success of the festival with all our strength. We would shame ourselves in front of the past student council generations if the festival were to fail. That's why there must be no flaws. No, I think it was indecisibles. No, nothing that might make the festival short of perfect. Shusune, passionate, sweet, and Misha in acting are really oddly fitting of them. Oh, hello. I look over my shoulder and see Hanako peering timidly into the classroom, most of her body hidden behind the door. Hey, playing delinquent again? Hanako blushes hard at Misha's straightforward jab, even if it was only in jest. Shusune stares at her, probing, causing Hanako to look down and start backing away to the point where only her fingers can be seen, wrapped nervously around the edge of the door. Maybe she is showing her dislike of Hanako by association of her dislike of Lily. It appears so, and Hanako probably knows it as well. What is it, Hanako? Has Lily been here? Sorry, haven't seen Sato. She came by in the morning, though. Hanako keeps looking uneasily at Shusune, who stares back at her with her unusual studying gaze. What is she trying to do? Of course, Shusune isn't going to look away, and she is intimidating enough as it is. So I can only imagine how terrified Hanako would be. It is a little uncomfortable watching Hanako's reaction to Susune's normal behavior. This is what happens when two people of different extremes meet, it seems. Do you know where she is? If she has any sense in her head, she's in her classroom, working on their festival project. But who knows where that woman is loitering at. Oops, something happened. Okay, yes. Place. Okay, yeah, okay. You need to find her? She was looking for you in the morning, but I guess you miss each other. She waits a little without answering the simple question, looking awful, like she's not sure if it's proper to answer such a question. Yeah. I can come with you, if it's okay. Uncle nods fractionally, still on her guard, her shoulders stiff like wood. I get the feeling that she might be more comfortable by herself after all, but it's too late to back off now. She has this really troubled expression she seems to wear almost constantly, one that makes me constantly be on guard myself. I wonder why. I kind of understand why she always seems to be so wary, or maybe more like why there could be a person like her. But I still have no idea how I should act around such a person. It's dinner time soon. Were you planning to eat with Lily? She nods slightly. So she must have been trying to get in the cafeteria. Well, there's something of a dinner crowd, just like the cafeteria is crowded during lunch. It's not as bad because dinner time is longer than lunch hour, but I can't understand why Hanako can't be discouraged from going in. I pick up my bag and we take our leave. Hanako skips a little to meet my initial pace, so I slow down to match her speed. It doesn't take long for us to be walking at a comfortable pace down the hallway. It almost feels like we're going for a stroll together, something that I can't say I've really done before for girl. Hanako doesn't seem to be thinking the same thing, though. Even though we are walking at the same pace, she never comes within arm reach of me. I guess she's still a little uncomfortable around me. Given how shy she is, there doesn't seem to be much helping it, at least for now. By the time we arrive at the cafeteria, there is not much of a crowd here, but Lily is nowhere to be seen. Hanako's head sinks even lower than usual. Have you looked somewhere else already? Just at the library. I was reading. So she does spend the classes she skips at the library. Ah, so not exactly a thorough search then. Well, if I had to guess, she'll be in her own class like Shizune said, right? Right. With the slightest of nods, Hanako agrees with my reasoning. Good. Gosh, she's being so awkward. It's like I need double-layer silk gloves with padding to even begin interacting with her. Some small talk might help her become a bit more used to me. It isn't hard to tell that the silence between us is hovering on the edge of both our minds. So, you and Lily usually hang out together after class, right? Yes. I'm not quite sure what I expected from her answer, nor why I even asked that question. That much was rather obvious, after all. She doesn't seem like the type to cultivate a social circle either, so I suspect that Lily might well be her only friend. Must be a pain being in different classes, I'm guessing. She gives a sharp, almost reflex nod, compared to Lily's careful thought about her actions and speech. Hanako hesitates to make her answer as prompt and short as possible. Lily comes by the classroom, though, even when she's busy. She gives a small smile as she says it, evidently approaching the fact that Lily goes out of her way to help her. It's pretty cute, really. There isn't any need to say more. Both of us are content that discussion reach an end. As we ascend the stairs back to the lobby, we meet by a group of students heading downstairs like a school of fish moving from one feeding area to another. They seem to be keeping mostly to themselves, but before I can notice her doing so, Hanako has moved around behind me. Hey, are you alright? Just keep going. The students pass us without as much as a second glance, and Hanako takes up position to my side again. As we enter the building, her momentum received from her anxiety all but snatch away. Even as we climb towards the third floor, she doesn't seem to relax. It isn't as if I've known a shy person before, or even shy girls, but Hanako seems to be pretty far beyond what I call normal in her fear of other people. If it weren't for Lily acting as a mediator, I doubt Hanako would have even been able to walk beside me like this. She seems to completely shut down in the presence of others. The rest of the walk up to Lily's classroom continued in silence, strained silence, while I rue her inability to socialize at all. After we make our way up the stairs, the noise coming from Lily's classroom is audible from halfway down the hallway. I wasn't expecting such a din at all. Well, I guess we found her. This wasn't hard. Did Hanako come here first, then come to me for backup, I wonder? Well, if that's true, then at least she's starting to trust me a little. That can only be a good thing. Eventually, the two of us reached the door to Class 3-2, with Hanako less than subtly positioning herself behind me. I opened the door. Inside is a hive of activity, seemingly every student in the class talking at once as they work hurriedly on their separate desks. Going by the paint cans, decorations, and banners being made, it must be for the upcoming festival. I guess my first priority should be finding Lily. That's a thought. there. Finding her among the din is surprisingly easy, not the least because of her looks. With a couple of the students gathered around her as she stands at the front of the class, she seems to be in charge of the preparations, or at least busy organizing them. Carefully negotiating a path through the various students, hunched over the floor for lack of desk space, I raise a hand entirely out of habit as we reach Lily. Hi, Lily. She perks her head up as she breaks off talking to a noticeably smaller girl who must be her classmate, just trying to listen as best as she can. Sorry, who? Sorry. Hisao. I have Hanako too. Hi. She seems pretty skittish considering the number of people around. It isn't too hard to work out why. Lily takes a momentary pause to assess the situation before turning to the other student once again. For the moment, just asks Mortori for his advice. Kenji's busy with painting one of the banners already. A quick nod and she bounces off, fingers carefully sliding along the wall's face for orientation. Wait, Kenji. That Kenji. I quickly turn around, leaning to the side to see past Hanako. Sure enough, in the corner of the room, Kenji's hunched over a sheet of cloth as he paints it. His eyes remain only an inch from the banner, reminding me of how close he had to be to make out my face when I met him. Sorry about that. Our class doesn't have many students with even partial eyesight, so they're in high demand. That's right, Class 3-2 was specifically for students with poor vision. Preparing for the festival must be pretty atrocious for them. Need a hand? I can give you a hand if you need some. Maybe Hanako can help too. A chance to set her mind on something would do her good, but I doubt she has the courage to ask outright. She quickly nods in affirmative afterwards, so I'm confirmed I made the right move. Lily gives a noticeable sigh of relief. That's good. This might actually get finished before everyone goes off to dinner now. Would you be able to help the person painting the main banner? It's a big task for him to do, but nobody else can help. Kenji? Sure. She seems surprised that I know him. I can't really blame her. I take it you met? Our rooms in the dorm are right next to each other. Hard to miss each other, really. Well, it's good to see you're getting friends so fast. Friend? I wonder if that's the right word to use for him. Hanako's silence during the proceedings reminds me of the reason I put her up to helping in the first place. Well, go help him then. He knows what needs doing, right? That's right. Just ask if you have any problems. Cursor in assent, Hanako and I begin another task across the classroom. Trek across the classroom. Kenji sits crouched on the floor, his gaze fixed on the white card in front of him. Hey, Kenji. No answer. He continues dragging his paint-soaked brush along the large half-painted Kenjis that stretch on the sheet and pencil. Kenji? Huh? What? Who is it? If this is the way he treats classmates, it's no small wonder he's working on this alone. It's me, Hisao, from the... Right. I know that man. What are you doing here, though? His dismissive attitude annoys me. He must be the type to really get focused on his work, hating to be disturbed by anyone until he's done, I suppose. While we talk, the sound of Hanako's footsteps as she walks out from behind me reminds me that she's here. I was just going to help with the banner. Hanako and I, that is. Hello. Hey, I guess that's okay. As soon as Hanako enters the equation, his demeanor takes a complete about face. His sudden flex hospitality is slightly unsettling. Oh right, woman, on second thought, this might not have been a great idea after all. Hanako and I grubbily set ourselves down on the opposite side of the cloth banner to Kenji. Nothing that's several small paint tins on the ground around. Class 3-2 noodle stand. You guys selling noodles at the festival on Sunday? Yeah, some stalls outside or something. Or something. His nonchalant nature speaks a fair amount of suspicion on my behalf. The task at hand comes first, though. So, how do you want to split this up? We do borders while you do the text, or do you want to switch and do the borders? Text is mine. You do borders. He has a surprisingly strong feelings on the topic. As I reach over to grab a brush, I notice Hanako is already debating between colors to use. By the time I put brush to cloth, she's already started on a delicate pattern. Looks like my idea of taking her mind off everything around her works. With a dark blue stroke, the three of us silently get to work. Not before Kenji takes advantage of Hanako working to lean towards me and whisper conspiracies, though. Okay, man, why are you here? Hanako just wanted some help to find Lily, that's all. He apparently disapproves of my motives. I get it. It looks like I misjudged you. You're infiltrating them, aren't you? Going deep undercover? I should have guessed. Letting the troops slip by him would probably be better than outright lying or annoying him in any case. Is that why you're here? Obviously. It sucks, but there's no better way to get intel than going in yourself. We gotta stick together, man. This is a harsh school, a harsh world. Yes, very harsh. He misses my true meaning as he leans back satisfied. I'm sympathetic to his cause. I better get down to work. Finish. Looks like I'm too. Good job. The two of us connect up the lines of our patterns, and mine being as close as copy as I could manage of hers. With a grunt, I lift myself from the floor and look around. Aside for Hanako and myself, there's only Kenji left finishing off his sign, as well as Lily and a couple of students talking amongst themselves in the classroom. Looking at my watch, it's no surprise. It's getting pretty late. Need a hand? I offer a hand to Hanako, which she uses to get herself up. As she does, I can't help but glance at her wrist. If her scars extended even to there, just how much of her body was burned. I feel a pang of guilt about it, however, as she quickly covers her wrist with her other hand. Looks good, doesn't it? She looks surprised for a moment before noticing that I meant the banner. It does, I guess. Her smile shows that she feels a slight sense of pride in the result, just as I do. With the floor significantly neater for the decorations being placed on desks and shelves, it's much easier to get to Lily as we cross the room. We finish the banner. I guess that's all that needs to be done. Lily gives an approving nod. Thank you, Hisao. Hanako, if there's any way I can thank you. It's fine. Beats sitting in my room studying at any rate. I don't mind either. She nods before suddenly remembering one last person. Oh, is Kenji still here? Just as I open my mouth, Kenji gives the answer from the other side of the room. Yep, just finished. He carefully slides the sign onto an empty section of a shelf to dry, before quickly walking past us and out the door. See ya, man. Bye. The remaining two students say their goodbyes to Lily before taking their cue to leave as well, leaving only the three of us. Well, I guess that's everyone. I hope we don't have to do anything like that again. Working past school time? Indeed. The class plans this year were ambitious, maybe too ambitious. The stall looks nice though. She's right. It shows that a lot of people work's gone into them. My. I'm sure a lot of us would be glad to hear that. At least now that there's not much work to do until the festival itself. It's getting pretty late. Should we go? That's probably a good idea. Are you going back to the dorm as well, Hisao? Yeah, I guess I'll tag along. The nighttime lighting really makes the garden look completely different. Compared to the usual lack of lush greenery, things are much more calm. Being that it's so late, the lack of students around probably helps. The odd one or two student too can be seen scurrying to and from the dorms, trying to eke the most out of their approaching curfews, but no more. All that can be heard is our footsteps, in addition to Lily's cane, regularly gently tapping the ground in front of her. It's nice to finally be able to relax a bit after the mad rush during school. Without even noticing it, I let out a small yawn. Tired? Yeah, still getting used to the flow of things, I guess. The, thing with Shitsune took me kind of off guard, though. I grit my teeth a little at the condemned mention of their rather public spat. That said, I do want to sort out what in the world was behind it. Oops, sorry. What in the world was behind it? About that. I'm sorry about it being so public. Shitsune and I go back some ways. Her voice seems slightly irritated as she remembers Susune's obviously unwilling to discuss it any further. I glanced at Hanako for her view on this, but her expression is unsurprisingly vivacious and difficult to read. Either way, I guess her apology for something is something, even if my curiosity goes unanswered. I'll be glad once the festival is over, in any case. The change of topic welcomes clearing the thickening air quickly. I can imagine. My old school festivals were a lot more low-key than this. Yamako stressed the idea of a school community, so the staff likes to make our festival and such special occasions. And yet the students are the ones who do the work. What an unfair world. Hanako and Lily both chuckle in agreement, savoring the fact that none of the staff are around to hear our grumbling. I suppose coming from a strict all-girls school helped me a bit with Yamako. Compared to there, Yamako is much more relaxed. That'll go away towards explaining her well-bred speech and behavior, in any case. As we come up to the dormitory, it eventually comes time to leave for our respective rooms. See ya, Lily, Hanako. The two both give polite nods before setting off to the women's dorm, just next to the guys. As is to be expected of such an arrangement, there's a staff member casually patrolling around outside to prevent any nighttime shenanigans. Walking past him, I quickly stretch my arms and rub my neck, both quite sore after having worked on the floor for so long, before walking to my room. It feels good to actually have direction, though, after so long in the hospital, that everyday facts of studying, homework, and teachers seem almost a blessing. I guess if things continue like this, my time at Yamaku might turn out okay. Adhering to the nurse's nagging voice in the back of my head, I set my alarm to wake me up early enough to go jogging again. I made a promise, and I'm going to keep it. Besides, Emmy is bound to rat me on me if I don't show up. But it's not all that bad. And I'm gonna end it right here, guys. That was a good episode. Besides all the Kenji stuff in the bathroom, that was weird. But, yeah, I'm gonna end it right here. This is Visual Novel Gamer. I hope you like, comment, subscribe. Comment how your day's going. Comment how you're liking the series. And I also have news. I have started my own Patreon, where I'm gonna be giving people early access to my videos. I'm going to give them a member shout out at the beginning of my videos. And I'm also going to be doing unedited videos on there that I can't show on YouTube. So like all the parts that can't be shown on YouTube, I will be showing them on there instead. So I hope you guys like, comment, subscribe. This is Visual Novel Gamer, and I see you guys next time. Peace.